are live. And I like it. I'm starting to feel like it is my favorite time of the week. I don't know. It's just something that excites me about like getting on and being able to like discuss topics and things that I really spend a lot of the week talking to other parents, and I just get so I get so much insight. Like I really do. Like I really get so much insight, and when I'm able to come on a platform, like I'm truly grateful to just be able to talk so much more about the things that I learn and the things that I talk to parents about. So yeah, I hope that this is I hope that this is as exciting for you guys as it is for me. Okay. I also don't want to waste a lot of time. I really want to jump right in. Look, that's that old grunt when you when you pulled a few more things than you need to to reach down and pick to pick something up. Okay, let me cut it out, y'all. Let me. Okay, so like I said, I'm really excited to be able to go live and talk to you, parents and future parents and new parents. It really is an honor. I want you guys to know that I take it very, very seriously. Like for sure. So welcome to Recruiting Your Teens as Teammates, Part 2. Right? So recruiting your teens as teammates was originally the part two of the teen talk, right? So we had teen talk one, then we had teen talk two. So in teen talk two, it was recruiting your teens teammates, and now we're making the part two to that. So we will be out of this series at some point, but today I hope I can give you all enough clarity to make it make sense. Okay, that's all I want to do is make everything make sense and have just truly valuable information for you guys tonight. So I'm gonna jump right in. So, thanks for joining me. Um, thanks for being here, whether it's day or night, wherever you are. I just want to thank you because you could literally be anywhere in the world, but you are here and there, and I appreciate you. You're in on Instagram live right now, and also on YouTube live at the Guardian Teacher. So that's the Guardian Teacher on all outlets, and I'm excited to be able to have a little chit chat, a little chit chat, a little chit chat. Okay. So who am I? I'm G Marie, a single mother of three and an entrepreneur, like right here in Chicago. I help parents ease their load by showing them how to develop healthy routines for their families so that they can build enjoyable family partnerships. Partnerships are so very important for a family structure. And when you develop partnerships in a family structure, hi, when you develop partnerships in a family structure, then you learn that it eases the structure along the way. So, right now, this week, I've had so many intentional conversations with parents of all different family makeups. Mother of fours and mothers of three and fathers of one and married couples and even teen parents. I've been gifted to be able to speak to and communicate with so many different types of parent makeups because I am a teacher here in Chicago, and I get a chance to experience many different parent interactions because I have a varying difference of diversity in my students. Um, they all say that parenting is a challenge. They all say that parenting is a challenge. This tells me that whether you're a single parent or not if you got a full support system or you don't have a full support system, whatever it is, the day to day is constant. Like it doesn't stop because you don't want to get out of bed or you lose your job or you lose your mind, right? When you're a parent, things just kind of keep going. We sometimes feel like we're on a roller coaster that just won't stop at all. So, one of the things that I talk about when I'm doing Guardian Academy Speaks or when I'm talking to parents is about discipline. So, discipline, and I say this often, is a parenting tool, right? It is not just used for children, but for life. Because when all else wavers, motivation, self grace, all the things, being disciplined will keep your systems going as you build them. And so, girl, systems. What you talking about? What's this? What's a system? Okay. So let me tell you a little story. Something happened to me, right? When I was 16 years old, I had my first daughter in the middle of high school, and I had some things to figure out, y'all. First, I had to balance baby and books. Second, I had to balance being a teen and being a mom. And those were two very separate identities for me that I don't think I, um, I don't know. I think I was like in denial about one, and just confused about what my role was in the other. And so, after all, I still have my social life to keep up with, right, as a teen. So I'll fast forward just to say that the years I spent not knowing how to live and manage and balance were the worst years of my life. Years of making my daughters late for school, years of yelling in the morning, years of forgetting appointments, and mostly years of just being disappointed to myself and my kids for only one reason, right? And it's mostly because I never gave myself grace. I never truly gave myself the understanding that I deserved. And I think mostly because, that I wasn't really getting a lot of understanding, or I wasn't really perceiving what I was receiving as support as understanding. So I don't think I knew how to give that to myself because I had never really seen it given to me. As a teen parent, you have this really unique positioning of the world kind of wanting to insert themselves and let you know what you don't know. And I think that sometimes there comes a time where we're, trying to help family or trying to help a person that we're helping, but we're not really being helpful. We may be inserting ourselves in something to do for a person that we could be teaching them. So I felt a lot like my parenting was kind of invaded. I felt like my parenting was invaded as a teen. I knew that maybe I didn't have the full understanding, but I also knew that I wasn't being given many chances to make mistakes. And then when I got to a place where I was moving into societal adulthood, right? So, like my 20s, I was very green to the understanding of what the structures of parenting look like. And so, I say this to say if you have somebody, getting up feeding your baby for you, you can't even feed your baby, or, doing the things, in some instances it might be supportive, but it also has you lose a level of, experience. So, you know, I spent so long not understanding how to manage because I was constantly being managed and not really being allowed to be a part of that process. And so the truth is, um, I didn't know what I didn't know until I knew. Honestly, I did not come, it didn't come to me as fast as one may think. Like I said, years. I had to watch a great woman who at the time I felt to be my godmother, and she did so well with her routines and prioritizing her child. And I just wanted to soak that up. And so along the way, I realized that she too was figuring it out. So my one of my life lessons around that time was like, we're all just figuring it out, right? And but it didn't feel that way, right? It didn't feel like she was figuring it out. It felt like she had it figured out. Okay. And I think that's when I talk about, look out for your strong friends, because sometimes we can things can appear really great and appear like you have it all together, and you don't. You can really be falling apart. So I think that there was an ease to it that uh, I thought was flawless. And so I asked her to teach me. I'm like, man, show me, what you know and how to do this. And she taught me two really important lessons, and I'm going to talk to you about what those lessons were, and then hopefully this will help gain a little bit of insight. So the first lesson was this: you learn people's personalities and you treat them accordingly. What does this have to do with routines or easing the burdens of parenting, right? Well, the first thing is the phrase taught me that no matter who or who from, children will always have their own personalities. It would be wise to learn them and then move. Yep, that way. You can't you can't parent without considering the personality that you're parenting. Every child is different, and they'll have different talents, thoughts, feelings, and abilities. And whether they are close siblings or whether they are twins, each of our children are different. And so the lesson two was, opportunity plus preparation always equals success. Like, this formula is golden. Ooh, y'all know I got this crazy dog, and I need to. The dog is a whole nother story. I will talk about that on a different live. Ooh, all right. So, whew, we got opportunity and preparation equaling success. And so this formula is golden because there's no way around it for anything in life, right? For example, if I meet a wealthy business owner and uh, an investor, but I don't have a business plan, or I've defaulted on loans, or whatever it is that makes me seem unprepared, then my success will be impossible. And that'll be coming from a place of not really having the preparation that I need. When that opportunity meets, things can't blossom. If you can be completely prepared, but if an opportunity presents itself or never presents itself, then you won't be able to actually then be successful. So that was lesson number two. And so, just keeping it simple. If I'm not ready for an interview, right, how do I get the job? What does this have to do with children? Well, seizing the moment is an understatement, honey. You have to be prepared as much as one can be. You'll flourish, period. Like, you will do better when you have that preparation together, and you will prepare better when you understand lesson one, which is that personalities are going to be different. And I think that's something I walked into helping parents just well aware of, just well aware that, my child is not necessarily going to be like your child, and that things that works for my child may not necessarily work for yours. But if you take this kind of skeletal structure, and you build upon it, you'll find yourself in a great space if you just include the parts that kind of suit you, which is what we do in life, right? Because everybody's uh view of things, or what they see, everything is different for different people. So let's talk about routines. I want to get into it because I started off with these lessons because I think that there are things that we should have on the top of our brains as we're developing routines. But I want to be a bit more clear about my routine from my live last week, and then how my teens are recruited as teammates in my family. And then we'll wrap it up because, I never try to keep y'all for longer than 20 minutes, right? I just want to come on, talk, look cute, and, and get up off of here and let you get back to your night, okay? So, where was I at? Right. So, routines. Um, you want your teens to be recruited as teammates in your family. My teens are recruited as teammates in my family, right? And it's taken straight from lesson two. First, I prepare. Okay, so I am well aware that everybody is not off on weekends, and that not everybody has a Sunday off, and not everybody has, different days off that, like, I realize I'm well in touch with the fact that off days are going to be different. But for the purpose of this live, we're going to say Sunday, right, is your off day. Whatever that off day is for you. For me, it's Sunday. So on Sunday, I get up at 5 a.m. I pray. I run a bath. I meditate. I journal. I do this until 6. So I'm giving myself 1 hour to do multiple things, but I'm probably doing them all at once. I'm probably in the bathtub meditating with a journal because how am I fitting all of this into an hour, right? But I need it. I need all of those things. So if I have to be in a situation where I have to do them all at once, then I'm okay with doing them all at once, all in the same spot. Like whatever it is. Like some of us taking dinner to the bathtub. Look, you got to get it done. You only got an hour. You can live your life in 60-minute intervals and be perfectly successful. So I'm with it. So like I said, I'm not out of touch with the fact that not everybody is able to have the same day or get up as early. Sometimes we don't live in our own homes. We live with family. And so I know and I realize that all of these things just make a huge difference and make an impact on kind of the way we navigate our life and our routines and the way that we navigate our mornings and, our children. So my child wakes up at about 10 a.m. And so I'm preparing myself. Somewhere after my self-care routine, I'm fixing a PB&J juice. I'm sitting it on the top shelf of the refrigerator, honey. I have his show on TV. It's on pause, so he could just come in and click up. I know this is going to buy me an hour to clean up rooms. He isn't in. I've prepared, so the opportunity manifests itself, right? Y'all see what I did there, right? So there is a preparation process. And the moment I have the opportunity to go in on that extra time or that free time, whatever that time may be, it's going to be successful because I've prepared. I'm prepared for when he wakes up. I'm prepared for when I have a free moment, right? Because I'm prepping for that. Things are ready in the moments where I can get them ready. So I'm spending my downtime, the time that I'm not doing his downtime, not my downtime, because where's my downtime? But during his downtime, I'm spending that time to get things ready so that when he gets up, things can be very, very automatic and automated. So like I said, I got a show on TV, it's on pause. I know this gonna buy me an hour. I've prepared so that this opportunity comes in seamlessly. And I'm also able to spend time with him, right? So because I've gotten up at 5 and I've had this 5 to 6 prep, he might not even get up to 10. He might not get up to 8. You have to learn your kids' personalities. His personality, he could, honey, he could get up right after me, or he could sleep into whenever, So I'm always prepared for what, however long or short that period of time may be. And I'll give you an example about that too. So on Sunday, for example, he has a mandatory nap. Naps is mandatory. I'm sorry, my son is 4 years old. Naps is mandatory. You got to go sleep. You got to go sleep. You got to take a nap, right? And so if he got up at 8, this nap might be at 1. Or if he got up at 10, his nap might be at 3, but the nap has to nap. Okay, the nap got to be napping because I need that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up. I'm going to do the prepare and the pre-plan to make sure that at the time that he is able to take a nap, I'm able to move expeditiously, for example. So it may be 45 minutes that he sleeps, right? I don't know if I'm gonna get the 45. I might get 30. I might get an hour. I don't know. But I know my son, and at minimum 45 minutes he's down. Now this can go over, or not. But because I know that's the time that I have, that's when I'm going to start the washing machine, right? You would probably start the washing machine early. You want to get things done, or maybe that's the time you putting things in the dryer. But I'm starting that washing machine because I know that it's under his room, and I know that vibe gonna keep him sleep, right? And then now I can journal and I can write things and I can do things where he's not coming into my space and like being an interrupter of something that I know I need focus on. It doesn't mean he's interrupting me all the time. A lot of time he kind of stays to himself because it's really just him, and his sisters are so much older and he doesn't have like anybody to feed off of. So he does, but then he wants mommy. And so I have to be cognizant that when I need to do a live or when I want to make content, that's not going to be a time where he's going to be awake, because otherwise y'all going to be talking to me and y'all going to be talking, y'all going to be talking to him. Because the moment the camera comes on, my son is ready. Follow him on Instagram. He's the only baby Dason, and he loves his fans. He's always talking about mommy turning on Instagram so that he can talk to his fans. So I don't know. But so I start the wash. That I got up early to sort out somewhere between the PB&J and cleaning the first room. And in this 45 minutes, I start the laundry and I do whatever is required in my home that I need to do. And so I'm taking straight from lesson one, right? I have to know my kid's personality. My son is not going to go straight to the fridge and get anything on his own without me telling him to. Right? He's not going to necessarily, just because I have prepared this PB&J, just go get it, right? So I have to direct him. I know that. I know that's who he is. I know he knows it's there, but he just need he just always need the need, and whatever the need is, that's what he's going to be his most focused self on. What can I do for him? How can I help him? And so I know that he is for sure who he is. And when I create those routines, that's what I'm keeping in mind. Let's talk about teens. So when my daughter was little, life was, my daughters were little, life was different, right? First of all, they were 3 years apart. There were two of them. And some kids feed off of each other. Like I said, like mine did not. That's a story for another day. But their personalities were always day and night. And I learned all too late how important this was to like my handling of their routines. Like over time, I learned that one of my children is a bookworm and quiet and introverted, loves to be alone, only in the company that she chooses. She has a personality where she doesn't want to deal with no aggression, and I don't really think anybody should have to deal with aggression, but this was like her personality. And my other daughter was the total opposite. Extroverted, outgoing, would talk to strangers with no problem. You could take her to somebody's house or whoever, she gonna go and play with kids, the whole nine. And so I came to learn over time that my routines in the morning were not working for my kids' personalities. Yelling and being aggressive in the morning, that might have picked up one kid's pace, but the other kid, it slowed them down. That is gonna completely, throw her off. And so I had to learn, to be calm and what my triggers are in the morning and why being on time is so important and how I'm falling short and what are the pockets of my morning that aren't necessarily allowing me to be successful getting out the door. So one of the things we started doing was developing family calendars. Family calendars have been incredibly important to us, tracking our time, tracking our events, tracking when changes happen. That just was what works for our family. The other thing is just having a wall calendar where we can just see what's going on. I'm a little crazy. I got the whole like whiteboard and corkscrews and little sticky tabs and like the whole nine, because I just need that much detail. Somebody asked me about apps. And so I know that there are many incredible apps for organizing. Trello, if you have like a really big family, if you just want to do like a to-do list from Microsoft, that works. Honestly, you can use your iPhone reminders, or you can put things in notes. There's so many apps. But I will be 100% transparent in saying I don't find myself using as many apps as I do finding it more useful to write things down and be able to see where things are. That's my jam. That's how things work for me. Now, for my daughter, who is like going to college and has a business, everything is digital for her, right? She's always typing stuff up, sending reminders, sending links. I recently bought tickets to Little Mermaid, and I took a page out of her book and sent everybody like literally just a Google Calendar invite so that I knew we were all on the same page about going to, to the movies. And I found great responses, even from my 64-year-old mother, who was like totally on board with the whole technology thing. So I'm coming around. But I found that me being able to see things, right? Batteries die, all type of stuff is like a better way for me to be able to manage. Prepping during the weekend is a better way to set off my week. Meal prepping. Meal prepping for me has become incredibly invaluable. Being able to cook up a, like a pack of chicken or a big thing of rice, cutting up a lot of vegetables, making a gigantic salad and putting that salad in little containers for the whole family, being able to switch up our options. A couple trays got mac and cheese, a couple trays got rice. And these are all things that I'm just kind of making on the stove in multiples and packaging it away for us. And we don't have like big pots of leftovers or bowls of leftovers. Literally everything that's left over is from what I've cooked on that particular day, and meal prepping breakfast. So whether it be, sometimes my son likes his cereal dry. So whether it be putting some dry cereal in cups, that's one thing, or, however you want to section off and compartmentalize your actual breakfast foods, those things are great for grabbing out the door. Keeping it simple, right? Get you a sandwich, get you a sandwich Ziploc bag, a sandwich size Ziploc bag, and put in there whatever is necessary, right? Me, I'm so particular about I don't want my car getting dirty. So listen, I put it in a bowl. So you got the bag and you got the bowl for anything you drop, So I think that what works for your family is what works for your family. I am just really happy to have been able to talk to you guys and hang out with you all tonight. I am so grateful. Like I said in the beginning, you could really be anywhere else in the world, but you really are here. And I really am grateful for that. I am live streaming on YouTube, live streaming on Instagram. I am excited to continue talking to you all about routines and how we bring our teens into the fold and how we think about personalities and all the different big concepts in life that we might not necessarily think are applicable, but are applicable to the way that we start to structure routines. So maybe you're not ready to sit down and write out a whole schedule. You got a schedule. You could write it out, right? But maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you just need to figure out, okay, how can I give, different kids different things? I gave the taller kid the job of putting up the dishes after the dishwasher. The next night, I gave my son, who's just enthusiastic about helping in any little way. I give him little things to be able to do. So he puts the garbage bag in the bag after we take the garbage out, or he can take the dishes out the dishwasher. And even though he can't reach up on the cabinets, he can put them on the counter for me to be able to put them up, or he can throw them in the sink so they can drain. There's something for everybody. And ultimately, getting out the door on time in the morning, that means something. You got to make it mean something, though. Getting out the door on time in the morning could mean that whoever the first one out the door can sit in the passenger seat, right? Or whoever the first one out the door can control the radio. So these incentives, I know we live in such a digital world where there's so much care and concern on, what a parent can spend, or we convincing our kids with things, but there are opportunities that as kids, as teenagers, they still do want. don't sleep on it, y'all. They still want to sit in the front seat. They still want to control the radio. And I mean, maybe they don't want to control the radio. Maybe they sitting there with the headphones on. Maybe we make a no headphones in the car rule. I don't know. Whatever it is, right? But whatever works, you want to keep it working. And whatever doesn't work, you want to figure out why it doesn't work before you start to establish routines. Okay, so in 2 weeks, I'm going to have a live workshop and we are going to sit and we are going to create our routines together. And so I'm expecting to see all of you there. And I am so grateful for your time and for the energy and for the love and for the waves on Instagram and for the likes on YouTube. I'm so grateful. You guys are the reason why I'm here. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Um, I took 30 minutes, but I hope it was valuable. I know it was valuable, and you'll get it back. You'll get it back. You'll get it back on Sunday or the next off day when it's time for you to sit down and figure out how to make this work and that work. And you start prepping, right? You start that washing machine. You fold those clothes. You plan those outfits out for the whole week. You do that meal prep. You know, you'll get the value. The value is there. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. This was